just check out the view, all in the queue.
Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share it everywhere.
So be in the know, just come watch the show. To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue.
That was a few months ago.
So be in the know, just come watch the show. To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue. Be in the know, just come watch the show. To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Watch the show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue. Be in the know, just come watch the show. To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Watch the show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, it's
what up, family? I know you guys are not used to seeing me live. What's up, family? If you're in here, just give me a shout. Let me know you're in here. Say hello. If you would, please like and share and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, so you can get notified. Turn on your notifications when we are going to be live. Today, we have a great show for you. Hey, nope, not even. What's up? Today, we have a great show for you. Today, we have a great couple on. Paul and Jennifer Roberts. We're going to be on. They're going to be on in just a few seconds. I'm going to pull them up and we're going to get started. And we're going to have a conversation with them. As you can see today, you can see me. You can see me. Let me know if you can hear me out there. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me out there. Today we're having table talk. So I'm actually at my game table at my house. And that is where I am today because we're having table talk. And I wanted it to feel like a great casual conversation with the Roberts. I'm actually going to switch out glasses too because I've had these on all day today. And so I'm going to put some different glasses on. All right. Without further ado, we're going to get started with the conversation. And we are going to bring up the Roberts. Woo! Woo! How are you guys doing today?
We're doing well.
Great.
Good. First, I want to thank you for coming on my little itty bitty tiny channel. I really appreciate you guys for that. Today, I just want to have a casual conversation. Just like I was telling the people, I'm at my game table at my house where we play games. And we are just going to get to know a little bit more about you as people. I know we see you a lot at the township meetings, but you all are just more than advocates at this point. You know, you're just more than Paul going to the township meeting. You're a person. You're a resident. I'd probably call you like the good neighbor. Like if we were neighbors, you'd be like the good neighbor. You'd be like, hey, do you need any help over there? And I'd be like, sure do, Paul, come on over. That's how I feel when I see, when I first saw you at the meeting. That's what I got from you. I got that you were the good neighbor. You were I'm gonna help take the trash can down. They're out of town. Let me get their trash can. That's the type of neighbor I feel like you are. So we're gonna start with Miss Jennifer. Miss Jennifer, if you would please tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you from here?
I am born and raised. Been here all of my life.
Wow.
And, yeah. But we lived a sheltered life growing up in a pastor's house. My father was a pastor. My mother was a missionary. And we didn't go a lot of places because they didn't allow us to. So even though I lived here all of my life in Chicago, I don't know various parts of Chicago because we weren't allowed to be in parts of it.
So did you grew up in the suburbs or you grew up in the city and just were sheltered in that way?
I grew up in the city. We moved away from, we lived on Crenshaw. And when my sister and I, or my brother and I think we moved away from Crenshaw when we were about 4 years old. My brother was 4 and my sister and I were 2. So we really don't have a lot of memories of the west side of Chicago. Back then, it was mostly whites at that time. And then eventually we moved out to the south suburbs and we moved into Hazelcrest, which is where I lived until my mother passed away. Then Chicago Heights, all over the place. And I also lived in Joliet too.
Oh.
Moment.
How many siblings do you have? Like, I mean, is it a lot of you? Is it a little bit of you?
It's not. It's just 3 of us. I'm a twin. We're fraternals. And then we have an older brother. Yeah.
You wait. There's another beautiful person that shared the womb with you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I kicked her out. So she's 12 minutes older than me.
Oh my God. I did not know that about you, that you were a twin. No wonder you're a great person.
Oh,
Wow. Okay, man, God did his big one.
And
He
yes, he
did.
did.
He did his big one.
But we're
Okay.
like day and night. We are so different. But, when they say that twins can feel each other's emotions, we do. Whether we're fraternal or identical, we feel each other's emotions. So when my sister was giving birth to her firstborn, I felt her pain. And the same thing with me. So it's twin power all the
Wow.
way.
Listen, somebody in the comments, it looks like they telling some secrets. They say Jennifer sings her face off.
Oh
Oh
my.
yeah, she does.
Oh my God.
I do recall
Thank you.
seeing a Facebook post where Mr. Paul Roberts was on the keys. I
Mhm.
mean, and he did that, okay?
Mhm.
But I do recall you singing.
Yeah.
How long have you, been singing?
I've been singing all of my life. I actually came out with a gospel CD back in '96 called Heaven.
What?
Yes. And I sung
Let
with,
me find out.
yeah, it's called Heaven Only Knows. And I sung with various choirs here in the city. And I actually performed at the Black Woman Expo in Chicago. So I did quite a few things, but oh, no, you didn't.
Uh-oh.
Oh, super. There's one thing about the super producer. She always ready. Because
Okay.
I know that
Oh.
some of the people didn't get to see this. But it's one thing about me. I'm always ready.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
So let's see what the people missed. This is the lovely Miss Jennifer Roberts on the vocals and our super duper superior resident on the keys.
Did this
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Yeah, you're my favorite work of art.
Okay, they're gonna have to pay for the rest. Man, that was beautiful. Listen, one thing I love is how Paul was looking in your eyes. Oh my God.
It's kind of hard to ignore, you
You
know.
know it's real love when the person look into your eyes and they don't look away.
Mhm.
Oh my God, that just melted my heart right there.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. That is so beautiful.
Thank
It's very rare that you find your soulmate, in your lifetime. I'm twice divorced. So, man, how I would love to find the love of my life. You all look like you have done that. I mean, man, after I watched it, because I've already seen it, I cried a little because I
oh
felt
my
like,
goodness.
man, love still does exist. Sometimes you get so discouraged by some of the things that you are seeing and some of the things you go through, but man, that just gave me so much hope. Oh, that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope everybody out there enjoyed it. Thank you. All of the people watching, if you would please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Um, and here we are just about giving good information on Table Talk. Hopefully, we're going to be um, interviewing more people, and learning about more people on Table Talk, and also talking about a few issues, that we may be dealing with. Ms. Jennifer, so now we're going to ask you the question because I want to get to your speech that you gave, and I want you to be able to give the speech as well. But
Okay.
I want to have you tell the people, and we'll want to memorialize it in this video, what brought you to the township meetings?
Oh, um, oh my God.
Me.
Yeah. My husband, he is so passionate about uh, numbers. Um, he got into what was going on here in the Thornton Township with the mismanagement of the people's money, why our taxes were going up as high as they were. There were some things that just didn't sit right with him. And when he started coming, um, I wasn't interested at first because I knew that my husband would take care of those things. However, the more he got into it, he would come home and tell me all about it. And so I said, the next time I'll go with you. But what really didn't make me go with him, um, what really should I say, made me go with my husband is I saw on the video of him speaking, and I saw the way Kamal and some of Tiffany's people watching my husband because you all know he's a numbers guy, and I'm an overprotective wife. And I told him, you will not be going to any more meetings without me because you need 4 or 6 set of eyes instead of these 4 that he had on his face.
I know
And
that's
so
right.
when I started coming, I started getting more in tune with what was going on. And the more he got in tune or in debt, I did too. So that is what started me going.
Now that's what initially started you, right? So then let us know how the evolution happened because
Um,
I'm referencing a speech that I want you to read for the people because I want them to be able to hear the speech in full. But tell us when it turned for you into something that was personal.
when the Fannia Dukes story came out,
When,
that's
when
when
she
it
first brought it public.
when she first brought it public, and when her story came out,
It was
that's
it was the day of a Dalton board meeting.
right. Um, when I heard about her story, and this is kind of emotional for me,
Oh my goodness.
but
We definitely appreciate you. Take your time, Queen.
thank you. Um, when her story came out, it brought me back to my childhood of how I was sexually molested, and not from one family member, one close family member, but even a half brother of mine. And when you grow up in a Christian home where your parents are leaders, pastors, missionaries, Kojic, um, you're made to be quiet. You have to sweep things under the rug. You can't share your story. And yes, I do believe that God would take care of everything, but I also know that we have to be able to speak out and have a voice because if we hold it in, we have nowhere to let it out, and there's no healing from that at all. So when Fannia's story came up, that just took me back to a whole nother place. It took me back to where I was being abused, but it also took me back when my daughter first came out and told me, Mom, when you were at work, I was being sexually molested. And my daughter felt like she could tell me these things when she was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because all of this was happening in those age ranges as a single mother. So when I look at Finea, I see my daughter. When I look at Finea, I see myself. When I look at Finea, I see all women, men, boy, girl, who has been sexually abused but has been made to shut up and has been looked at as if they are lying. So I had to bring that out on Tuesday night. I had to make sure that her story has not or will not ever be forgotten just because people want to shut it up, just because people want to brush it under the rug like it didn't happen. She said, whether, oh my God, I get so angry about this. And I'm sorry, but I get angry about it because, you know, she did not okay that. You slipped something allegedly. Let me use the word allegedly, okay?
Right.
Okay. In my own story, there is no allegedly. It happened to me. It happened to my daughter, and I believe it happened to her. When it comes to someone saying I was abused, whether it was physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally, I'm going to believe you. Yes, I get that. A lot of people are out there trying to get attention, but I don't believe that this young woman will put herself in the public eye and say that something happened to her if it didn't. And I'm here to remind people. I don't care if they get mad at me. I don't care if they want me to, my husband, to continue to talk about numbers. I'm going to continue to talk about things that matter to me. And this is the reason why I brought it up the other night, because I feel like Tiffany, get all this bingo game stuff. Okay, I'm all for the seniors. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for all of that. But there are people out here that are hurting. There needs to be some counseling, mentally, physically, whatever it is. There are people out here crying for help. And instead of you giving people help, you're firing them, but you're keeping the violator working. Oh, let me catch my breath. Let me
Catch
catch
your
my
breath.
breath.
I want to say that, your courage, the courage that it takes to, and now I'm going to get emotional, stand in front of your neighbors and express something that is so personal. We
You
thank
know,
you for your courage.
let me tell you something. Growing up in my home was not easy because I was in that depression and I had to keep everything to myself. Yes, we act out when we have nowhere to go. We do things when we have no one to confide in. And when you're constantly told that we have to preserve our name, that's something to tell a child that has been abused and is constantly being abused, and then your victimizer know that you can't say anything, and it's like you're being mocked at, you're being taunted because you hear they're not going to believe you anyway, they're going to believe me. Where do we go from there? Who do we go for help to when you're
It's okay. And I just want to explain to some of the people viewing, um, me and Miss Roberts, we kind of have the same background. We both grew up in a religious home. Um, and when you live in a religious home, my mother was a bishop and my father was a deacon. Um, Lots of times you're told not to talk about certain things. You're told, um, don't say anything because then everybody's going to be talking about it. Or, you're made to feel like you can't talk about it because it basically gives you shame if you talk about it. You know,
or the
we,
family shame, the name shame.
right. And we also were never really when you're in the religious household, there's really no conversation that goes on. You know, there's no, you can't just go and talk to your parents about anything. That's not um acceptable.
And
There's like only certain topics you can talk about that are acceptable, and you know, you don't say certain things and you keep things inside. And I always said when I had kids, that would be something that I would never do. So
I
I
totally
have a
agree.
constant flow of communication with my children about anything. I don't care what it is. Tell me, you know. So I understand exactly where you're coming from living in that, you know, particular type of household.
Yeah, I
But
don't want to ever forget when I came out about what happened to me to my parents. I was 32 years old, pregnant with my last child. Just had my last child. Just so happened, some information that came out about some of my nieces who was being abused in that way, and it was being abused from my abuser by my abuser. And I'll never forget my father calling my mother and telling her all about it. And of course, they didn't believe it. And because I was there, I told my mother and heard the conversation. I said, I believe it. My mother said, why? I said, because it happened to me. You know what my mother said to me? You must have liked it. Because why didn't you say something about it?
because
So
look at what happened. Yeah.
it took me right back to that child. And everything that my abuser said to me about, they're not going to believe you, he was correct. But what made my mother believe is that my twin sister happened to be in a room or behind the door or something when I was being abused and never said anything to me all those years until that day. She said, Mom, this happened to her. And that was the only way my mother believed it. So I refuse to allow anyone else to go through what I went through. I believe you. I believe Fania. I believe my daughter. I believe every victim that says that they have been sexually abused in whatever way, shape, form, or fashion. They got somebody here that's going to fight for them.
And we thank you for that. We thank you for being so courageous in doing that. We thank you for speaking out about it. We thank you for bringing attention to it. And we thank you for giving them the courage to stand. Because when you feel like you're standing alone, that's when you don't want to do it. But, you know, thank you for standing with Fania Dukes, justice for Fania Dukes. You
Yes.
know, thank you for standing with her, you know, and supporting her as a woman. And this is not a color thing. You know,
No.
this can happen to anyone. This is not a color thing. Thank you for giving the victims a voice. Thank you for doing that. With that being said, I would like to give way to you so that you can read your public comment. Miss Roberts gave her public comment at the township meeting that happened on Tuesday, and it was a great speech. And I want her to be able to read it in its totality without any noise and have it memorialized in this video. And with that being said, I'm going to give way to you.
When I was a child, from the ages of 9 through 11, I was sexually molested by close family members. I was made to believe that if I said something, no one would believe me. I became silent. My voice was lost in a sea of depression. I experienced low self-esteem, loss of identity, became unsure of who I was or who I would become. When I became a mother of a beautiful girl, I vowed that what happened to me would never happen to her. But unfortunately, as a single working mom, I could not protect her from the generational curse that plagued my family. I often think about if I could change back time and if my baby girl, who is now 32 years old, would have felt safe enough to tell me what was happening to her, what I would have done to those who abused her. Vania Dukes was sexually assaulted on a Thornton Township sponsored trip, allegedly by Andrew Holmes, who is still on Tiffany's board in Dalton. And instead of protecting her, she fired her and kept her violator as her ally. He is only one of many criminals working for you. Her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, is drawing a generous salary for a position he has yet to report on. However, he allegedly felt the need to put his hands on Nate Fields less than a week ago. And I asked, is that part of why he was hired at the township? Why is it that she would rather have criminals to defend her as opposed to providing counseling for those who have been abused sexually, mentally, or physically? I asked her, isn't it better to spend tax dollars on services that the silent residents with low self-esteem need instead of on her own campaign events like Taste of Thornton Township and Big Bingo? And in January, in that very room where we were on Tuesday, she told the world that she was Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. I asked her, did you forget that his dream was that someday people will be judged by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin? And that was it.
No, that was a beautiful speech. And the things that you brought out about Kamal, definitely are questions that need to be answered. What does he do for the township? If he is supposed to be the prevention department head, he has never given any type of report. Like when the department heads come up and they give, how they be giving the reports, he's never done that. Mm-hmm. So no. Yes, he needs to answer for that.
If he was simply taking $100,000 a year as boyfriend support and did nothing, that would be better. But instead, his job title has something to do with at-risk youth. And it's ironic that, he's the only department head who never says anything at township talks, never gives a statement. But two of the department heads complain that since Kamala's been on the payroll, the township has had a really hard time recruiting young people for the lawn care program because no one they find can pass the drug test.
But as the youth prevention department head, isn't he supposed to be creating programs, finding ways for the young people? Yeah, he's actually supposed to be a mentor, type figure. But instead, we'll get into that in a little bit later. But so now thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you so much for being willing to come on the platform and even saying your speech. Thank you so much. Because I know so many times you be like, no, I'm here for my husband. Well, y'all stop talking to me.
Yeah, I have found my voice.
Well, it was never lost. It was never lost. We just needed to. Yeah, we just needed to let you know you are just as important as Paul. We need you just like we need Paul. Okay, I feel like that is what we need. So Paul, let's talk to you a little bit. Table talk with Paul. Okay, Paul. First of all, before I ask you this question, I saw a video, and I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna do like I did Jennifer. I saw a video of you dancing. Is that something you do often?
No, not at all. I never even tried to learn to dance.
I mean, it was evident during the video, but I digress because let's not forget you are a man who plays the piano. Most of the piano players, right, they don't dance. They play. So I get it. But baby, listen, They need to memorialize that video somewhere. I'm not gonna play it though. Look at Jennifer. She want me to play it because I played a video on her.
No.
That's
I'm not gonna do it. You're not finna get the people mad at me up here embarrassing the super resident. No, ma'am. No, you're not. I'm not gonna play it. But I saw it.
I'm sorry
And I
it
can't.
bothered you, but I was having fun.
No, it brought me so much joy. You know why, Paul? Because I've never seen that side of you. I've only seen you giving speeches about numbers and talking about, the downside of things. To see you dancing, and when if you all get a chance, go. You know where y'all be going to find videos. Go where you go to find videos and look for that video of Paul dancing. It's going to bring so much joy to your life. Okay? Because he looked like he was having a good time.
He was.
I didn't
And
think anyone was filming me.
listen, those are the best videos. Those are the best videos when you don't think anybody is filming you. You
Right.
know, and you just were you were relaxed. You was I said, oh, okay. Oh, all right, okay. But you did it. I just want to know. I just want to let the people know you need to go find that video. All of you researchers out there, all of you people who like to find little things on people, go and search that video out. It's gonna bless your life. I promise you. All right, Paul, let's get into it. Are you originally from Illinois?
No.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from St. Peter, Minnesota. It's
Okay.
in the valley of the Jolly Green Giant, about 70 miles south of Minneapolis.
I'm about to
I'm
say that.
about the fifth generation from that town. My mom was very much into local history. Her aunt wanted to know everyone in the small town. And she was the babysitter for the whole town and would tell the kids exactly who every person in the town was. My mom was on the city council for one term. My dad taught public speaking at a Lutheran college, but I went away to high school in Massachusetts.
Well, that's fine. Keep going, Paul. Listen, I'm finding all of this interesting. I'm finding out why you like to find things, because you had somebody in your family who wanted to find out things about everybody in town. So it makes sense. It makes sense that you found those numbers because that's what you do. That's what you was taught. So,
and my mom got along with everyone in the town. I mean, a college being in that town created kind of a divide between the college faculty kids and the regular townies. And that divide was even evident on the city council. There were a couple of bullies in grade school on the city council the same time as my mom. And they said, oh, don't mind her. She's a college person. And she took offense at that because she was born in the same house that her grandfather built, and she knew more about the town than the bullies. Anyway.
So, Paul, you are used to finding things. Okay, so that's why you do that, because it was something that was put in you as a child to look for things. So that's great. What do you do, Paul? You told us about your dad, what your mom did. Oh my God. What do you do so you can pay the bills, sir?
Okay. Well, I had a virtual twin in grade school. His name is also Paul. Our mothers were both twins named Marilyn. Our dads both taught at the same college. We had, they drove identical Volvo station wagons for years. And well, we went our separate ways. I was in the Peace Corps in Ghana. He went to Yale. Got a degree in divinity, and
I'm
he
laughing
ended up
going all the way around the mountain to get to.
Okay,
it comes up later.
Oh my God!
My best friend got a graduate degree at the University of Chicago. He was living in Hyde Park. His boss was retiring, and he had this crazy idea to start his own business. He wanted me to help him. in the late 80s, he wanted me to help him sell used computers. And I thought, I don't know anything about computers. I don't think that you and I can convince anyone that we know technology. But we had a business that did quite well together.
Well, as you can see, you don't need to. I mean, Tiffany's supposed to have a degree. She can't even speak correct English. So you don't really have to know what you're doing to do what you're doing. That would it seem like to me. But anyway, I mean, that's just me.
Paul and I were both math majors.
Okay, math majors. Okay, so I get it now. You
I was
just
also
love
an
numbers.
economics major, and Paul was also a philosophy major. But
Philosophy.
Mhm.
Woo! I bet y'all didn't know that Paul tell jokes. Now y'all see Paul up here joking.
oh,
If
if I
he
ever
did it or not, he tells them.
if I ever get enough time, I want to tell you about the Shostakovich pumpkin principle.
Okay, we'll do it at the end.
Not
That
today.
would be not today. Okay, next time. Next time.
Okay.
Next time.
Anyway,
So you sell
still
used
sell
computers.
used computers out of my basement here in Lansing.
Okay, so that's where you be when you get in trouble. She say go to work till you go to the
No.
basement.
He was always asking me to get out of the basement and do something else.
Oh yeah.
Hard for me to find time to list all these computer parts on eBay.
Because he works 24/7, Cam, and he refurbished computers as well. And sometimes he gets called out to fix computers for various businesses. He used to do it for Chase, and what's the other place that you used to?
That was a while ago.
Okay, but I'm just
I
telling
worked
what
for a
you
lot
do.
of different computer recyclers as well.
Okay, Paul, listen.
That's
People
where I
need their computers fixed. You are valuable in lots of ways. And I see now I understand why you like numbers, because computers is nothing but ones and zeros. Tell the
Right.
people.
So
Tell the people, Paul.
get away with not playing my husband's video. Let the people.
People are asking to. Let me see. Can I find it? My goodness. Paul, I tried to save you. I don't know why these people are insistent.
Listen, if you didn't save me, you
I
can't
don't know why these people are insistent upon. Now, I'm trying to keep the peace. Hold on. I'm trying to keep the peace between me and Paul. And y'all being messy. Hold on. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. Let me see if it's
Just
where.
say, this white man can't dance, but he like to have fun.
Oh my God. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Hold
Hey,
on.
I didn't choose my parents.
Okay. Paul said he
But I
didn't
didn't
choose
choose
his
them.
parents. I'm dead. Oh my God. Okay, let me see. Can I find the video? Because it you know, I might have tried to. Oh, it's not even. It's not that. Okay. Okay. You look. What? Oh my goodness. And that's enough. That is enough. Y'all see, y'all trying to get me in trouble. Listen, every time I see that,
Oh boy.
I think about listen, one of my favorite songs, Paul, and this I don't want to offend you, you know, this is not your, but one of my favorite songs is Play That Funky Music. White
Girl,
boy.
you don't have to offend my, let me tell you something. He's a white man, but he got a lot of black in him. Okay?
Yes.
So,
It's that
if
soul.
You can take these because I give it out all the time.
It's that soul. You got that soul, Paul. You invited to the picnic. You don't need to worry about it. You invited, okay? And we need somebody. We're gonna need somebody to call the police anyway. They only gonna come if you call. That's the only way we gonna get them there. Oh my God. You see, y'all see that? Y'all see how Miss Roberts did Paul? Y'all see now they have fun too. Okay, they are fun. Okay.
We do.
Paul, okay, let's stay in this vein. What are some things that you enjoy about the township where you live? Like some places you like to go, you know,
Okay. Well, I lived in Hyde Park for 30 years. so I haven't been here that long. But there's some good places. We love Kirk's Barbecue in South Holland.
And we know that Tiffany loves it too.
Oh, the
Okay.
last time, yeah, we've seen the township's credit card statements.
Okay. Next time, tell her bring you a plate.
Okay.
Actually, I met the township highway commissioner at Kirk's Barbecue a few months ago. But
Oh, Lord.
yeah, Lansing has a really good jewelry store. They buy and sell gold and silver. And I decided that I would stop paying insurance salesmen for life insurance, cut them out of the picture, and just buy gold and silver and put it in a safe deposit box. That's our life.
Because you're smart.
And it's the friendly father and son crew that you'd ever meet. The Lansing Journal is wonderful.
I love the Lansing Journal. Melanie is great.
Mm-hmm.
Melanie
there's a great brewery right near where we live called One Tree.
A brewery? I didn't even know
they're
there was a
going
brewery out there.
They're going out of business in 2 weeks after 12 years.
Why? Is it not busy?
They never,
No,
they always have a good crowd, but they don't promote themselves or they don't try to grow like their competition. We also live near Three Floyds Brewery in Munster, Indiana. They're known worldwide.
Wow, I'm really concerned about the local businesses leaving, though. You know, that is those taxes. Yeah, those business taxes are. Yeah,
Lansing isn't hit as hard as most of the communities in Thornton Township.
Oh, well, that's great.
Lansing has a pretty solid board of trustees, and they work really hard to attract businesses here.
Paul, what's some of your hobbies?
Thelonious Monk.
Tell the people that you like to play jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Music.
Because some people may not know who Thelonious Monk is. He was a great
composer.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sun Ra.
Sun Ra claims that he was born on the planet Saturn 500 years before the biographers said he came from Birmingham, Alabama, which is in 1993.
Not Birmingham.
But his band is still going. And there was a saxophonist who met him in Hyde Park the year I was born, 1958. Not only is he still in the same band, but he's leading it. And he celebrated his 100th birthday this year.
Wow,
Jennifer,
Paul.
I've seen him a couple of times recently.
We know you play
to some of these places. I'm like, man, are you crazy?
I
mean,
Paul, we know you play the piano. Mm-hmm. Are you in a band?
Not officially. I've got a lot of friends I play with often. All of them were over here for a big party at the end of June. Last weekend, they invited me to play at someone's block party, and I actually got paid.
Oh, wow. You know, that's very rare because most creative people, you know, we be living on a wing and a prayer.
Right. It was good, too.
Okay. We be living on a wing and a prayer, and a can you put some money in the sack?
So I had a much better time Saturday than she did. She drove to Dalton to check out Taste of Thornton Township.
Well, that was a great time for me in my pajamas. Going out there to see 60 or 100 people.
Well, you couldn't taste nothing, so it was okay for you to be in your pajamas because it wasn't nothing to taste.
There was nothing there.
Nothing. So, my God, Paul, tell us who some of your social heroes are.
Well, when I was a little kid, you know, growing up with the speech professor, I heard a lot about Dr. Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi. Dad told me if there was ever a kid who wanted to bully me, the best thing to do is just sit down with my arms crossed and ask them, why do you say that? And it works.
Because they're going to leave.
I dragged Jennifer to a Thornton Township Talks meeting a few months ago. Hardly any people were there. Tiffany had a couple of plants asking questions, but I didn't feel like asking any questions, and neither did Michael Smith. When it was over, the two of us walked towards each other, and I could tell he was going to start asking me a really nasty question. And I just looked at him and I asked him, "What is truth?" And that threw him off guard, and he was speechless.
Now, you really asked him a question that he did not know the
What is
answer to.
truth?
That's why. Because he didn't know the answer.
Right. And then a few weeks later, I asked the same thing to Tiffany.
Oh,
And
she really didn't know. She never threw her
he's
way
always
off.
telling us not to believe the fake news. There's another side to the story. Do your research. Of course, she won't let us do the research, but
Okay. Because,
she
child,
believes
give my
that-
Ford piece of paper then,
she
please.
believes that there is a truth and that all of her haters don't know it. I told her to her face that none of us will ever know the truth because there are so many angles to each problem. Only God knows the truth. And as far as we know, God could have sent you here because he was running out of locusts.
Oh, wow. Wow. I know she was
didn't
going
get
off
it.
then because you know she don't know the Bible. Okay, Paul.
Right.
Before this whole, township situation, had you ever been involved in your local government?
No. I ran
Nope.
for student council president in the 6th grade and came in second.
All right, and I know that originally you got involved because you saw something funny in the township budget, right?
Not quite. No, before
Okay,
that.
well, go ahead and tell us how you got involved in this then.
Well, we moved to Lansing, and I really didn't know what a township did. And then we got something in the mail from Cassandra Elston, the assessor, saying that the township had a surplus that year. And the supervisor decided to give back the surplus to the taxpayers. And they explained, their procedure, how they would calculate the tax rebate. They encouraged you to apply. I did. We got it. And I said, hey, great. But then Frank Zuccarelli died. We saw Tiffany's pictures show up in our mailbox with increasing frequency. And I said, oh, well, yeah, it's a younger person. She seems real lively. I'll give her a chance, see what she does. Then I realized, hey, she's been supervisor for a while and she advertises heavily. That's got to affect our tax rebates. So I was going to try to find out what is the township's budget for advertising, and do you still have a surplus? Then we saw a billboard on the Bishop Ford, and other people started talking about our advertising budget. And I just kept digging in from there.
Oh, wow. Okay. So once you start digging into this, what is the first thing that you did? What's the first thing you did? You at home, you in the basement, you on your computer, you like, oh my God, where's my money?
Right.
What did you do?
I started asking the neighbors through the Nextdoor app. And
I love that app, by the way. If you all in the listening don't know what the app is, it's an app that you can connect with your neighbors without having to actually talk to them in person. I love it. Not that I'm afraid of people or anything, but I don't want to have everybody at my house. Right. You can ask you can ask all kinds of questions on there. You can be like, anybody know a good landscaper? Anybody know a good roofer? They also be putting up there when there's like security concerns in the neighborhood. Oh, I saw this dog. Oh, I saw a coyote. Yeah, I love it. I love that app. Sometimes they get a little nasty on there too. Sometimes they tell a little business on there too. I've experienced that, and I'll be going back trying to get the end of the story. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
Well, then I discovered the Dalton Politics group on Facebook. And last year, a lot of people had questions about how the township was spending money. And the finance director, Robert Hunt, actually made a post in Dalton Politics saying, oh yeah, I'm happy to make appointments in my office with any resident who has questions about how the township spends their money. He would only do it one at a time. He made sure it was a private meeting, but I tried to take him up on his offer. But headlines were accumulating. When I first started asking about the advertising budget, I think Tiffany had locked the assessor out of her office. That made the news. Then right before Robert Hunt said that he would be willing to interview residents in his office, Tiffany told Ben Bradley that she had nothing to do with the credit cards and lied to his face.
Well, let me interject. Now we know.
Constantly.
Well, at the last meeting, now her name will appear
Right.
on the credit card.
Mhm.
So she can no longer say that she has no knowledge, because if she don't have knowledge, she's still going to jail. You still going to jail, girl. Okay. Now we just gonna have proof that you need to go to jail. Okay. So you can't say what you've been saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't wait to
first
see
time-
you at Sam's Club picking up the order because you got to sign for the credit card. Okay, Paul, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The first time that I ever met Tiffany in person was at Township Talks. I mean, she advertises that as a place where the residents can come to ask questions. Well, she had two of her henchmen collecting the questions on little Post-it notes, and they saw mine, and they put them in their pockets and made sure that I couldn't ask them. William Moore wouldn't let me get even close to the finance director. But I did I threw Tiffany a softball question. I had never met Melanie of the Lansing Journal until that day. But I had asked her, if you could only ask one question of the supervisor, what would it be? So I asked Melanie's question. Okay, you've been a supervisor here for almost 2 years now. You know all of the programs. Can you give me one example of a program that has become more cost effective under your leadership than it was under Frank Zuccarelli's? And she paused for a little while and she said, oh, advertising. When I became supervisor, only 20% of the people knew what the township is. Now 80% know. And I said, advertising is.
And at what cost? At what cost do they know this information? Yeah.
Keith Price knew that she had made a big mistake. And he quickly covered. And he said, oh yeah, Zuccarelli used to pay $3 for a food box. And I renegotiated with the supplier, got him to print it in 2 colors and do it for $2.10. And that was the perfect answer. But
that was the most important thing. That girl crazy.
Yeah, Tiffany does not know what cost effective means.
No, because that ain't it.
But she liked me.
That's not. She liked you, Paul. You sure? I think I'm gonna take a poll right now because I don't know how much she like you now.
Well,
she hate him now.
But she had no idea who I was.
Like, please, she do now, and she be like, "Your time is up, sir. Your time is up."
I think at the time she thought that I provided diversity to the room, so she hired a photographer, and she took lots of selfies with me, and I was wearing a sweatshirt that said Studebaker.
Exactly.
I used to own one. I asked her if she knew what Studebaker was. She didn't. When I told her that it was very important American automobile manufacturer whose plant in South Bend, Indiana has been closed since 1963, she said, oh, 1963? That's way before my time. I don't care about any of that stuff.
Oh my God. Paul, what has been your most difficult thing about watching this administration run the township? What's been the most difficult thing Watching.
realizing that it is very real. It affects people in ways that the supervisor doesn't realize. She's acting like either she's on a mission from God or she's starring in a reality TV show.
And this is y'all's real life.
Yeah.
It's real.
Right.
Yeah, we see the taxes increasing. The Thornton Township's portion of our real estate taxes went up much higher than Lansing's. It went up much higher than our local school district. So the township is one of the greediest tax-taking agencies on our tax bill. I think only the Metropolitan Water Reclamation Board is higher.
But yet the township is supposed to be providing services. It is supposed to be giving the relief to the residents, and it's 17 municipalities that is supposed to be doing that for, right?
The township is just a welfare agency.
That's its job, to deliver services to the people out in the south suburbs, because the city can't come all the way out here to do it. So they need a place.
Well, it's supposed to deliver services that neither the villages nor the county can afford. And they do that pretty well with the highway department. That's a really small part of their overall budget. But the highway commissioner says, yeah, we don't really need to exist, but I do this as a favor to Harvey and some of these other cities that can't afford to take care of their own roads. But a welfare agency, the quality of a welfare agency should be measured by efficiency.
Right.
And if they get tax dollars in and send them back out to the community, it's inefficient when the administrators take up the lion's share.
And that's correct, because look at what happened with the $1 million that was supposed to be for people's mortgages or people's rent to help them. Look at that.
And Kim, a lot of people told us that they weren't able to partake in that, even though they tried 5 times. And they said that when they got to $400,000 that they supposed to have given out, that was end of it all. There was no more money.
So what happened to the 500 and 45, 560 left?
In April, Jennifer wondered whatever happened to the $1 million giveaway in February. Well, it was nothing new. Frank Zuccarelli did it every year, but over the course of a year. Tiffany tried to condense it down into the month of February, but she announced it on her personal Facebook page February 2nd. By February 5th, they were turning away applicants.
Right, that's what I read, and I was like, how?
Then May 31st, that was a month after I had filed a FOIA request. Their department head came up in a public meeting and was bragging, oh, we gave away 150 grants for mortgage and rent relief this year. But they were capped to $3,000 each. So grade school math tells you they only spent $450,000 for the intended purpose.
Right.
I've been trying to ask Jennifer's question, what happened to the other $550,000?
Okay.
The Attorney General has tried contacting the township 5 times. They have demanded that the township give me that information, but they have not.
My thing about the Attorney General, and I'm gonna say this: you said he tried to contact them 5 times. How about he get in that car and drive down to Dalton because he can? Right. It's not like he in a different state.
Yeah.
The last 2 times that he contacted them, the email addresses bounced because the township. You can't.
For me, I don't feel like if I am the Illinois Attorney General, and you ignore my email, I'm finna get in the car and I'm finna drive down there and give you an official visit because I have the authority to do so. I feel like these are lame excuses that are being given. You know, that's my feeling. But anyway, Paul, tell us about some skills that you've gained since starting this.
The greatest is a whole bunch of new friends. A lot of people I speak to say that Tiffany is so crazy and or so evil that people from all walks of life are opposed to her, and we unite in our opposition to what she's doing. It's a grassroots people's movement, and I think I've become a little better at making friends than I used to be.
I can attest to that, Paul. Listen, now this might be a little difficult for you because you know you might not do this a lot, but I want to have you describe how it feels, what it feels like to be. Let's take the meeting that we had on Tuesday, and all of those people were in the basement. What did the room feel like to be in there with your fellow neighbors, getting ready to look like you getting ready to slay a dragon? Because that's how y'all looked. Y'all looked like y'all was getting fed up. You look like y'all was getting ready to slay. If she don't come down here, something's gonna happen. That's the way it looked on the screen.
Right.
It looked like. How did that feel though? How did it make you feel?
Well, it's all very new. It made me feel like, yeah, the end is finally near. You could see it coming a month ago. I'd say the turning point was probably the annual township meeting in April. There were all sorts of YouTubers there who are now warring against each other, all united. But right away, the people chose Stephanie Wiedemann as the moderator. And from that point on, Tiffany knew it was going to be an uphill battle. The electors, residents get to vote on whether they accept Robert Hunt's financial figures or not. The people said, no, we don't want to vote on your report. We don't want to accept it because you didn't post it. You're just reading us a bunch of numbers.
And wait, let's be clear here.
Tiffany forced the vote.
But let's be clear here. Robert Hunt cannot post the budget because it has to be done audited by an outside CPA firm. Let's just be clear on what's supposed to be done, right?
Right. That's a different
issue.
So
an outside CPA firm is supposed to audit the budget that he turned in to make sure that the budget is balanced, right?
Well, in April, we were not voting on the budget. We were voting on the annual financial report. And one of Tiffany's campaign contributors is an accountant in Calumet City, and he audited the financial report. And
I wouldn't trust nobody that was her friend. She can't even balance her checkbook. I mean,
right.
We talking about Dalton over there with $3,900. That sounds like a household budget in the cash fund. What $3,900 for a town of 20,000? That's crazy. That is crazy.
But the entire finance department in Dalton quit, so all they have left is this accountant from Calumet City.
Paul, let me tell you something. First of all, Paul, let me tell you something about that finance department over there in Dalton. They all did not quit. Some of them were let go. Their hours were cut and cut and cut. Because at one time, Robert Hunt was over there helping. She cut his hours and told him he couldn't go. Then they cut the hours of the finance person that was helping the department head. And that person left. So then the department head, we don't know, allegedly, they got called out and they left. So it wasn't, and I feel like it was a strategic play, because if you don't know what people want, if you don't want people to know what you're doing with the money, then you get rid of the finance department so they can't FOI any information. So then the outside CPA person, they're not FOIable because they don't work for the township. I mean, for the village. So you can't go to the accounting firm, Casper accounting firm, and say, I want to FOIA on this. No, it
Right.
doesn't happen that way. So, you know, that's it's a systematic thing that she did, a strategic thing that she did, that her campaign manager told her to do, because that's what he did when he stole money.
Okay.
So that,
And
you know, that is what created, right. And it's not something that she could have done at the township, because the township has a CPA, a certified CPA. That is Robert Hine. He gets paid. That's a position. And it has to be filled with a certified CPA. So there's nothing she could do with that. I mean, other than what she's doing, which is controlling Robert Hunt for whatever reason. Well, we know what alleged reasons, but you know.
Well, at the annual township meeting, Trustee Gonzalez had some choice words for the Kasperic accounting firm. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh yeah, I mean, because, and they should, because why are you more accountable to the mayor when she doesn't pay you? The residents pay you.
Right.
So you should not be answering only her email. You should be answering the trustees' email. You know, you should be wanting to give them information. You should be sending them information. You should be sending them red flags. You should be saying, this is crazy. What are y'all doing over there? These are all things that aren't being done.
Did you hear that?
What?
They're riding around and getting it.
And guess what they're doing? Riding dirty. Okay, they're riding dirty. You know,
one of my favorite moments of Tuesday's meeting was the first comment from the first public commenter, Dan Lee, the man with the golden radio voice. Immediately, he said that we demand that Thornton Township get an independent forensic audit of the finances. People have been saying. Let me tell you one
thing about Dan Lee. He gonna tell you what your problem is.
Right.
He gonna tell you what he wants you to do about it, and then he gonna leave a call to action to the residents.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
He was
and to the he point. Hits those points every time. Boom, yes. Boom, boom. And man, it makes the room explode. You can see it on the screen. You can see it. When you all gave your speeches, man, you know what, Paul? I can only imagine how you felt this time, because usually you're the first public comment that comes out.
I had a hard time to follow.
Right. And you didn't, but you had all those people saying, go, Paul, go, Paul.
I know.
You know, man.
Well, they did that previous one.
Yes. Wow. I mean, I really wanted to be in that room. But you know.
Yeah, that day I think I spent too much time editing her remarks, so I didn't have time to make mine short enough.
Well, Paul, I'm going to let you read your speech at the end. You're going to read your speech at the end. We're going to talk about just a few more things. I don't want to show the letter, but I do want to talk about it. You ended up writing a letter, and it's printed in the Lansing Journal. So anybody that wants to go and view the Lansing Journal, Paul ended up writing a letter to Governor Pritzker's campaign chief of staff. And in that letter, he began to tell the chief of staff all of the things that Tiffany had been doing in the township. How did it feel when she didn't respond to your letter? I mean, you've gotten responses from the Attorney General's office. You've gotten responses from, various places.
Not really. The Attorney General's office hires people to push paper. They try to get Thornton Township to respond, and they just want to know if they responded or not. They don't care if it's an accurate response or not. They just want to close out the case.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
You asked about the $1 million giveaway, the rent mortgage relief. The public access counselor started almost getting angry at Keith Freeman or Thornton Township, and they tried to. They even sent a letter to Trustee Jerry Jones, thinking he might be able to get an answer. But when all was done, they said, "We demand that Thornton Township give Mr. Robertz the requested information immediately." But they sent it to an email address that their IT department had taken down 3 weeks earlier, and they admitted that it bounced. So I had to print it out and put it in Robert Hunt's hands personally. But it didn't have any effect because Robert Hunt could see this letter serves to close this matter. We do not feel that we need to issue a binding opinion. After that, I spoke to someone.
And that might actually be the reason why, you know, people aren't wanting to participate in trying to.
Voter turnout is so low in local elections around here. People think politics is never going to help them. I mean, it only helps the career politicians. It's a game they play. Like I enjoy saying that poor people buy lottery tickets, middle class people buy insurance policies, rich people buy politicians.
And it makes sense because that's how you move things. That's how you get the money. That's how you move the policies and the laws so that the money can trickle down. That's what I would do if I had money.
All of them are gangs, and all of them are industries designed to keep the providers profitable, whether it's the lottery agency, the insurance company, or the career politician.
Listen, now we're going to move into something that everybody in the comments seems to be talking about, and I wanted to talk about with you too, which is when Kamal Woods tried to intimidate you at the meeting. Listen, super producer don't miss nothing. So I have the videos, so we're gonna watch the videos, and then we're going to talk about Nate Fields in relation, to how, showing a pattern of this administration trying to intimidate people. So we're gonna watch this video of one of Paul's lovely speeches. Let's see.
Supervisor, but she refuses even during the annual township meeting. The township assessor, the deputy clerk, the highway commissioner, and trustee Gonzalez have all answered every question I have asked of them. But I believe you will not be elected as supervisor unless you do the same. My comment tonight focuses on the strategy for surviving, perhaps even thriving in Thornton Township in the next year. Paradoxically, we must take the supervisor's advice and do the research to get the facts in order to know the truth, even though she and her administration do their best to prevent us from getting all the facts. Has anyone else noticed that when she promises to show us the receipts we ask for, she shows us nothing other than some remarks that belittle her opponents? Truth is much more than finger pointing and embarrassing each other. We as humans have finite lifespans and are limited to three-dimensional vision. Our opinions are trivial and meaningless to a being who can see from all dimensions and through all the historical ages. Of course, only God can claim to know the truth. Only God has experienced all history. Meanwhile, back here on our little corner of the planet, we have a finite number of waking hours, a finite number of dollars, and about 150 employees to help distribute those dollars between about 160,000 citizens. Should we listen to someone who believes she deserves more of those dollars than anyone else because God chose her to be above us? For all we know, God could have sent her to our planet because he couldn't find enough locusts. Anyway, we can't get anything done in the next year without examining the question, what is truth? Since I was a child in the 1960s, I learned that truth is something created by people engaged in listening to each other and questioning each other. We are the operational truth when we listen to each other, ignore lies, and work together to respond to each other's threats.
Your time is up. Next we have.
Now, I want everybody to take note of how Kamal was on the side staring, just staring at Paul while he's trying to give his speech. Like he was going to do so. I mean, it was just confusing to me. But the intimidation that they try to do. We got one more video, Paul, and then I'm gonna let you speak. This video shows when Kamal asked you to go outside. And I want to show this because this is exactly what he did to Nate Fields when he wanted him to talk to him supposedly outside.
My last paragraph was the good one. Right.
Thank you.
I got to pull your background to left.
Now, did y'all see Kamal put his hand on Paul's back and say, "Let me talk to you outside"? Thankfully, after Paul exited out of the room, Gardis Watts, and I don't know who else, went and stood with Paul. See, that's what we need more of during these meetings. To all of you residents that are watching, we shouldn't leave anybody behind with this administration. When the meeting is over, I don't care if you like somebody or you don't. You should make sure that they're safely going to their vehicle and they are out of the building, because you don't know what these people will do. I mean, you're going to try to intimidate me over a speech that I have the right to give?
It wasn't over the speech. The speech went right over his head.
Of course.
When the lawyer cut me off, I wanted to try to teach people in the room my dad's idea about rhetoric as epistemic, but I knew that wouldn't happen. But the reason Kamal took me out into the hallway is that there was a big rumor going around at the time that the township was paying for his BMW. And Ben Bradley had asked me to help him with the investigation. Kamal made me promise like 4 or 5 times that I would never take another picture of his car. He kept on insisting that it was his car. And I said, "Hey, why do you have to keep asking? What's the big deal? You can take pictures of my Nissan Cube if you'd like." But I was so grateful that Gardis Watts, Stephanie Wiedemann, and Josh Bootsma of the Lansing Journal were all standing right behind Kamal. Jennifer made me promise that I give her a video call when I enter and exit the building. And when I was leaving, she was relieved to see that Stephanie and Gardis were still standing there with me as I opened my car door.
Kim, he actually informed them of my concerns. And so they were nice enough to be with him. And they all called to show me that he was safe. And I was so grateful. And you said something a moment ago. We need more of that. You know, regardless of our differences with one another, we are supposed to be working for the same common goal. And we need to be there to support, to protect one another, because we know that in this administration, there are a lot of hardcore criminals. And for that, I was so happy. That was one of the reasons why I would never let him go to another meeting by himself.
Yeah, and I mean, the meeting on Tuesday, seeing the community coming, even seeing the community walk out when Michael Smith started talking,
right,
was amazing.
Yes.
It was absolutely amazing to see everyone say, "You ready? Yeah, we going. Yeah, we didn't heard this before, and he don't know." And everybody get up and leave. And man, That was the most beautiful thing I've ever
Mhm.
seen. Because
Before-
listen, we're not going to get the civil rights time back, right? This is our time.
It
For
is.
people like this is our time to be doing those types of things in our community, right?
I haven't felt this way since I was a little kid during the tail end of the civil rights movement. I
Man,
was too
I
young
am
to really experience it then. And I'm glad that
I
the
am
trans.
so excited to be
It felt like we were all on one accord. It was
yes.
unity.
Yes.
And it was so great because everybody that was there to fight for this cause, we knew that we were coming there for a reason, and we stuck
Listen,
to it.
Miss Roberts, you was Fannie Lou Hamer. I mean, I was seeing all of my heroes that I learned about from my grandmother on the screen. I was like, this is the 20th century civil rights movement.
Yes.
You know, these
yes.
people starting to wake up because their rights are being violated by the opens meetings, that their rights being violated. Now they waking up. I mean, you got Dan Lee busting in like Malcolm X. He like, no, we ain't doing this. No, be quiet. No, I'm talking. I remember that one meeting he went to and he told Tiffany, keep my name out of your mouth. You heard what I said. And she ain't said his name since. Do you hear me?
From the very beginning, I told him, you are the MVP. Mm-hmm. He is.
I mean, I'm telling you, seeing this on the screen should be making everyone where they live try to see about their government. What is going on? What is happening? If there's nothing happening, then fine, but I'm gonna watch you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch you. You know, and I feel like that's what we need to be taken away from this experience. You know, people are saying, you know, it's taking a long time, and you know, things do take a long time sometimes. We don't get to tell the timing, but what we are able to do is participate in the pushing of of these charges and making noise. And I think Judge Joe Brown said it best when he was talking to the trustees on his show. He was telling them, every chance you get, you got to talk about it. Every chance you get, you got to keep it in the media. You know, you got to keep it at the forefront of people's minds.
Exactly.
So that leads me to this question. I don't know, Paul. Let's get the people in the chat involved. Paul, have you ever thought about running for, you know, office for trustee or
definitely.
supervisor? You have?
Several people have suggested that I run for township supervisor. My immediate reaction is, nah, I don't need my face. I don't need my name painted on all those trucks and buses and food boxes.
That's definitely a choice. That is not something that you have to do.
Is a really choice prize for the career politicians, and I think I'd be too offensive to them and won't be able to get their money. But I might. I'm considering running for trustee.
You would consider?
I don't think I can afford to do that.
Everybody in the chat, listen. Y'all let me know if y'all if you think it would be a great thing for Paul to run for trustee. Then let me know, if he ran for trustee, would you support him? Would you donate? Would you get behind Paul Robertz as a trustee? He's definitely running on the platform of accountability. We know that because numbers is his thing. Okay, accounting, accountability, he's gonna have all of that. He's also a transparent person. I promise you, I've met him in person. If you walk up to him and ask him anything, he's gonna answer, and it's gonna be an honest answer. So let us know if you would get behind Paul Robertz, the trustee. I'm gonna tell you personally, I am going to be there in person if he runs and wins. I want to be there on the day that he takes his oath. I want to be there in person. because that's going to be a great day for the township, because they're going to finally have someone who is going to diligently look over their finances and their tax dollars. And that person is going to be serious about where those tax dollars go. So y'all let us know. Let me know in the comments for the replay people. If you're watching this on the replay, when you watch this on the replay, leave a comment and say, hey, I want Paul to run, and yep, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. Because see, I think that's where the breakdown happens. You know, we say we want somebody to run, and we're going to, you know, we want them, oh, they should be, but we have to put action to the words. Love is an action word. You have to show it.
I'd love to hear from the people who think it's a bad idea for me to run, and I'd want to know why.
Okay. Paul said he want all opinions. I don't block anyone here. So you can definitely leave whatever opinion you like. Dub Science Photo and Film says, I trust Paul. He seems like if he saw something wrong, he would be the first to speak up.
Absolutely.
I can agree to that. Let's see. Yes. Golfer says, yes, I believe he would be a great trustee. And even though I don't live there or have a vote, I would donate to his campaign. He definitely can take outside contributions. I do know that that is a category. I've looked these things up because why? I'm the super producer. So I know that these things can be done. So don't you worry. If he do, donate, because he will be able to take it. Grace Levi says, love and blessings to Paul.
Hey.
So if you all are watching, if you watch this video on the replay, leave Paul a message. I promise you, he will come back. He's going to come back to this video, and he's going to be looking for comments. Leave a comment. For all of you that watch this video live, thank you. I hope you like, subscribe, and share. For all of you people that are peeking in and looking, yeah, do the same. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Nobody got to know. I'm not going to tell nobody. So, let's see what Nope Not Even says. I don't have a lot of money, but I have some shoes with good soles.
Great.
I'll definitely put them to the pavement. Okay? Look at you, Paul. Look at you. Well, Paul, we're going to get ready to close, but before we close, I want you to be able to read, and a lot of people do, because they didn't get to hear your speech uninterrupted. So I want to give you the floor. I'm going to yield the floor to you to be able to read your speech in its entirety, uninterrupted.
Ooh.
Please.
You don't have it for me to read, do you?
Which one were you reading? Were you reading the letter?
Oh,
your speech. No, your speech from Tuesday. Yeah, your speech from Tuesday.
I've got it printed out in the next room.
I'll
be right
back. Go ahead, Paul.
Jennifer.
Me and Jennifer just sit up here and look pretty because that's the only thing we can do.
He said, talk to Jennifer.
All of you that are watching this, we just talked to Paul Robertz and his wife, his lovely wife. I'm going to start calling her Lady Robertz. And Paul wants to know if you think he should run for trustee. And if you do, would you donate to him? But also, if you do not think he should run for trustee, he wants to know why. And they're going to come back, I promise you, especially Lady Roberts. She's going to come back and read every last comment.
Got it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you have the floor, sir.
So I wanted to continue talking about how at least $550,000 of February's $1 million giveaway was not used for the intended purpose, and how the Attorney General ordered the township to give me the information I requested through FOIA. They did not. I wanted to mention how the township refuses to state who their FOIA officer is, and how they have made it almost impossible for the Attorney General's office to contact them. I wanted to talk about how the township's IT department no longer lists any email on the township's website, nor do they give us any way to contact our trustees. I wanted to mention how the administration monitors emails and text messages between trustees and their constituents. But instead, I will start answering the number one question asked about Thornton Township. Why is Tiffany Henyard still in office? Please bear with me while I try to answer that question. Much of the credit is due to her much of the credit for her successful criminal career goes to her well-connected attorneys. Her preference for the Delgado Law Group, known by many mayors and powerful people in Springfield, is so strong that she fired 2 longtime township employees who opposed hiring Delgado for the school board, but she doesn't mind spending our tax dollars to settle the wrongful termination lawsuits that she invited. Other well-connected attorneys helped her overturn the citizens' recall election in Dalton. Furthermore, Thornton Township spends $20,000 per month on lobbying, public relations, and political consulting. $5,000 per month goes to the mentor of the chairman of the State Senate's Appropriations Committee. $5,000 per month goes to a media consultant called the Whitley Agency. Look at the great job they did advising her on the last 2 Saturdays campaign events in Dalton. $10,000 per month goes to Cornerstone Government Affairs for political consulting. This February, when the supervisor was in Roland Martin's studio, several of these $10,000 invoices were on the warrant list. Trustee Gonzalez asked what they were for. No one in the room could tell him, but 3 of the trustees voted to pay them anyway. Cornerstone's website shows that the leader of their Illinois team was previously the senior advisor to Michael Madigan and the longtime political director of the Democratic caucus in the Illinois House of Representatives. When federal agents delivered the first subpoenas in April, it was reported that Supervisor Henyard, Kamal Woods, and Louis Lacey immediately drove down to Springfield. We do not know what they discussed, but consider this analogy. Imagine that you're a homeowner who has faithfully paid their insurance premiums on time for years. Once disaster struck, wouldn't you call your insurance company right away to file a claim? I asked the trustees, what would happen if you voted to stop paying $20,000 a month in insurance premiums to the Democratic Party of Illinois and a spin doctor in Atlanta? If the Henyard gang lacked their paid protection in Springfield, might state and county law enforcement agencies actually do their jobs enforcing the state laws she breaks at every board meeting? Governor Pritzker's only comment on Thornton Township was that he did not wish to interfere with ongoing investigations by Lori Lightfoot and the FBI. Last week, someone wrote in the Lansing Journal to say, that's just like having your house catch on fire and your local fire department tells you, there are other federal agencies that can deal with your problem. And that's it.
Well, Paul, you're always bringing things out that we need to spotlight and highlight. And I don't think any less of this speech. It's always great speeches that people just listen. So I love that about your speeches. It has been the best thing about these meetings, the public comment. When you get up and give your speech, I always get straight up. I sit straight up in my seat and I be like, oh, let me find out what numbers he done looked at this week because I'm finna go to work after he do.
No, I couldn't beat hers.
Oh,
Really tough act to follow.
It was. I mean, you all are a beautiful team. You work well together. That's what marriages are supposed to be, and that's what teamwork is like. So, man, I love this for me. I'm loving this for me. But you know what? I really do sincerely want to thank you all for coming on my platform, even though it's not big. You know, I'm not a big YouTuber or whatever. And I don't know that I would consider myself a YouTuber. I would consider myself a video journalist because I'm going to provide facts. It's not always exciting, but it's the truth. You know, and I don't really try to sensationalize it, because you should never sensationalize the truth. That's when you start embellishing, like Tiffany do. So I thank you for bringing the truth of the matter to the forefront. I love that for me. So,
Thanks for having
look, yes, no, not even said it's not big yet. That's right. No, not
Right.
even. It's not that big yet, but I'm hoping, and I'm hoping to bring some more. We're hoping to see if we can get Paul to be all in the Q's resident expert. Maybe we can. I don't know. But I did ask him to come back and do some other things with me. We want to talk about some other things, and we want to um, keep Paul's information out to the residents. So we're going to be doing some other special videos. I hope he's able to, with his schedule, do some other videos, some informative videos for the residents. And we will be doing those coming up soon. So you all look out for those. So listen, that's my time today. I know you all. Thank you all for spending time with me. If you feel like you want to donate to this platform, it's not, you don't have to, but if you feel like you want to, that is the Cash App at the bottom. It's all in the queue, $ all in the queue. And I'm going to use that. I mean, it takes hours to make some of these videos that I make. And it takes long hours to research some of the things that I research. You know, it takes me from here to there to here to there. But also, I would like to grow my channel, and I want to do more things on the scene. So I would like to get my reporter a camera. And I also would like to have microphones. So when I do in-person interviews, that I have everything that we need for that. So those are the things I'm going to be working on in this little getting ready to be big channel for the residents. And I'm going to continue to follow the meetings even after. So after the people get into office, because that's not the time to lay back. You know, just because you get into office somebody that you think is going to be good, that's not the time to just leave the government unchecked.
Oh, yeah. It's much easier to bring down a tyrant than to establish a good replacement government.
Right. So
Everyone
I feel like
throw out the bombs.
Right. So I feel like we
But what's
still
their
gonna need to monitor these meetings until we get to a righted place. You know, we get to a place where finances are okay, services are back to where they should be, and then we'll be able to pop in every now and then when there's something, you know, that we feel like, you know, needs attention. But I plan on, you know, still, you know, whether it be in person or whether my reporter do it for me. And shout out to my reporter for always going to the meetings for me. Also, shout out to Melanie from the Lansing Journal, because we did use some of their video footage. So thank you for that. Shout out to Dr. Nikita Cloud, because we did use her dancing footage. My Lord. So shout out to her, and thank her for allowing us to use the footage. But yeah, I mean, just look for more things to come from the super producer. And from All in the Queue, we got some collaborations coming up. I'm proud to announce that I have a collaboration coming up with Minion with Opinion, and we'll be doing a show called Double Up. We're going to be bringing that show to you. I hope you all tune in, because, boy, that's going to be something. He's a really special person, and that's going to be a great show. I have some other things that I can't tell you about right now. That's going to have to be a surprise. But you look for the super producer, because she out here in these streets now. You look for her. So we want to say thank you to the Robertz, and then I'm going to close the show out in just a few minutes. Thank you, Robertz. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Got to see your face today.
Thank you for inviting us on.
First time
I know.
Lori Lightfoot.
Oh yeah, I mean, man, we could do so many. We could do so many more shows, Paul. We're gonna do some more shows, because we got so many more things to talk about, man. You know, we have so many more things to talk about. But you know, I just enjoy you guys as people. and I think I've told you this. It wouldn't have mattered to me if you hadn't not have come on here at all, because I enjoy you as people and I would rather have you as friends, you know, than to be worried about any of this. This is something secondary. And like you said, Paul, this is people's real lives that we're talking about. And I want people to feel like I am handling their lives with care and understanding. And so I hope that has come across today. I hope you all have learned some things about the Robertz that you didn't know. Please answer Paul's question in the video comments. So all you replay people, what's up to the replay people? Please leave the answer to Paul's question in the comments. I'm going to be bringing you more stuff. You're going to see more stuff with me and other people. And I'm going to continue to bring you more music as I develop it. Man, God has just been blessing, and I'm so grateful. Grateful to you all for watching. Thank you so much. And we're going to play this outro video, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
To be in the know, just know what to show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. To show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's all up to you. So what you gonna do?